Hello and welcome to Emeryville, California. Today we're heading down the coast, riding in coach class to Los Angeles aboard Amtrak's Coast Starlight. Our journey begins in Emeryville, California, just across the bay from San Francisco. Opened on August 13th of 1993, the station serves as a replacement for Oakland Central Station, which had been damaged in the 1989 Loma Prieta earthquake. The station serves Amtrak's Capital Corridor and San Joaquin's intercity trains, the California Zephyr and Coast Starlight long-distance services, and bus connections to San Francisco. Emeryville Station includes a medium-sized station building with a high vaulted ceiling. Seating for passengers is found scattered throughout, an Amtrak ticketing desk and small cafe flanking the waiting area. Although a bit sterile, the large works of art hanging from the ceiling give the station hall a bit of well-needed color. Before our train to LA arrives, the California Zephyr must pull in from the depot. The Zephyr arrives with plenty of waves from the engineers in the lead locomotive. The California Zephyr is Amtrak's longest single-train service, covering 2,438 miles between Emeryville and Chicago, Illinois, over the course of 51.5 hours. It is also Amtrak's most scenic rail line by far, the train passing through the Rocky Mountains and through beautiful river gorges in Colorado and Utah. Keeping to its timetable, the Zephyr pulls away from Emeryville right at 8:25 a.m., the train scheduled to reach Chicago at the other end of the line at 2:39 p.m. 2 days from now. Right as we make our way back inside, the first boarding call for Train 11 is made, so back out to the platform we go. Despite the announcements of an imminent arrival, the live train tracker shows our train still 30 minutes away, a fact realized by the staff a good 10 minutes after their first boarding call. But being out on the platform does allow us to catch Capital Corridor Train 727 as it makes its stop. Another short wait in the station later, and the second boarding call for Train 11 is made, and this time our train actually shows up. Leading Train 11 today are two Siemens ALC 42s, numbers 340 and 303, behind which is a single Viewliner 2 baggage car and 7 Superliner coaches. The arriving passengers clear out and we're given the go-ahead to make our way down the platform to the coach cars at the rear of the train. Coach class on Amtrak long-distance trains is assigned seating only, with seats given out during boarding. We're assigned seat 4 in car 1112. I was hoping for a window seat on the right-hand side of the train, as that's where most of the good views will be for our journey south. Ascending the stairs, I found that seat 4 is an aisle seat at the very front of the coach. Not ideal for making a video. Once everyone's settled in, I asked the conductor if I could move to a window seat in the next car. He was more than happy to accommodate the request, handing me a new seat check and permission to move to the better seat. So a good lesson to learn here is if you just ask, the answer is often yes. Now, we only got to enjoy our new seat for a few minutes, as our next stop is Oakland, a fresh air break for the Coast Starlight. It seems a bit pointless stepping back off the train after having just got on, but it's best to take advantage of any fresh air breaks possible. Passengers trickle on and off the train as we wait for our departure time, the high steel of our superliners glistening in the morning sun. The stop is cut a bit short today in an attempt to get back on schedule, a northbound San Joaquin service departing as we continue south. As we glide through the wetlands of the San Francisco Bay, I went in search of breakfast. The cafe is located on the lower level of the observation car in the center of the train. Despite it being well into the breakfast hours, the cafe is still closed. It turns out it wouldn't open for at least another 30 minutes, or until just before San Jose. With nothing better to do, I grabbed a seat in the observation car to enjoy the world outside. Approaching San Jose, we meet up with the CalTrain corridor to San Francisco, and up above are the catenary wires of the CalTrain Electrification project. As of April 9th of 2024, CalTrain successfully energized the entirety of its 51-mile commuter corridor. Soon after, rigorous testing began of CalTrain's new Stadler-Kist electric multiple units, with full simultaneous testing of 8 EMUs occurring on the weekend of June 8th. CalTrain's electrification project will significantly reduce travel times and increase train frequency on the entire corridor. San Francisco to San Jose is expected to take less than an hour, with trains running every 15 to 20 minutes at 16 stations during peak times. Speaking of those new EMUs, we spot 2 of the 19 Stadler train sets parked on the tracks of CalTrain's upgraded maintenance facility. The sleek aerodynamic front ends and beautiful livery are a huge step forward from the older diesel locomotives and gallery coaches currently operating most services on the corridor. Service is expected to begin Saturday, September 21st, and if all goes well, I plan on being one of the first passengers on board. The cafe finally opens as we arrive in San Jose. The cafe offers plenty of light snacks, drinks, hot and cold meal options, and alcoholic beverages for purchase. For breakfast today, I chose a cup of coffee and a breakfast sandwich, plus a coffee cake to snack on later. The Golden Hills roll by as we enjoy our breakfast, the view sullied only by the rather large mark on the window. From San Jose south, the Coast Starlight passes through the agricultural center of the United States. Promoted as the salad bowl of the world, Salinas Valley produces 70% of the leafy greens grown in California and a large majority of salad greens consumed in the United States. Strawberries, lettuce, spinach, and tomatoes dominate the fields, but it's not uncommon to spot other crops like broccoli, cauliflower, artichokes, and celery. Our next opportunity to step off the Coast Starlight comes in Salinas. At this point, we're about 15 minutes behind schedule, our train having the deficit from this morning.
Yeah, no worries. I totally get it.
Departing Leaving Salinas, it's time we take a look at coach class on Amtrak's long-distance trains. Coach class on Superliner cars is operated in a standard 2x2 layout on both the upper and lower level. The seats here sport the dark blue and gray of Amtrak's new long-distance upholstery. Amtrak's long-distance coach seats offer an impressive 2 to 2.5 feet of legroom, more than enough space to get and stay comfortable on longer rides. A fold-down footrest is found on the seat back and is usable for taller individuals. The standard seat back pocket holds the Superliner safety information card. The tray table folds down from the seat in front and slides forward to bridge the gap. Above each row, you'll find 2 lights and an attendant call button. Power outlets are available below the window, providing easy access for charging devices. Amtrak's coach seats allow for significant adjustments. The seat back reclines about 30 degrees without interfering with the passenger behind, thanks to the ample legroom. The leg rest found beneath the seat can be adjusted into various ratcheting settings, ensuring a comfortable relaxing or sleeping position. The seats are well padded, with the backrest and seat bottom about 4 inches thick. For larger bags that can't fit beneath the seat in front, luggage racks are available above both sides of the train, with additional larger racks on the bottom floor. Bathrooms on board Superliners are located downstairs, with a total of 5 bathrooms in each car. This combination bathroom changing room includes both a toilet with all of the usual facilities and an extra space for changing. The sink works well enough, beside which is a soap dispenser and the usual paper products. The changing room side includes a single cushioned seat, a coat rack above it, and a tall mirror on the far wall. The space makes it easier to move around when changing clothes, without the risk of accidentally sticking your foot in the toilet. Returning to our seat, our train parallels the Salinas River. The waters wind their way through the golden hills of Central California, green trees dotting the banks as we head south. The San Ardo oil field provides a brief break in the usual scenery. Oil derricks dot the landscape between the railway and Highway 101, the pumps oscillating lazily in the high California sun. It's time for lunch on board, which means making another trip to the cafe. From the selection, I chose something new, the cold Asian noodle salad and a Coke to drink. The base of the bowl are thick Asian-style noodles, atop which is a mix of veggies and a sweet and sour Asian sauce. It's a decent-sized portion for the price, but it's not necessarily filling. The sauce is also a bit too sweet for my liking, but it's overall pretty tasty. Plus, being able to get fresh vegetables on board makes this a great option. At the rear of the train, rail fans and travel nerds alike will find a fantastic vantage point. The window through the rearmost door provides a view out over the tracks behind us, and I always make sure to stop by at least once on every journey. The flat farmlands of Salinas Valley have slowly been replaced by the mountains of the Santa Lucia Range. For the next 30 minutes, we'll be treated to some spectacular views as we head up and through Cuesta Pass. The pass runs 11 miles through the southern Santa Lucia Range, ascending 1,000 feet over the course of the climb. Cuesta Pass is a well-known rail fanning spot, with its 2 horseshoe curves making for some fantastic photography. The rail line here traverses 6 tunnels, the tallest of which stands at an altitude of 1,380 feet. The rails curl around the end of the mountain range, our train beginning its descent into San Luis Obispo. The descent features some tight curves with great views out over the mountains. We pull to a stop just shy of the highlight of the descent to let our sister train pass, led by ALC 42's 306 and 337. Getting back on the move, we begin our run through the immense Horseshoe Curve. As our train enters the curve, the entirety of our consist is visible. From our seat at the rear of the train, we get a fantastic view of our leading locomotives, the mountains sliding past in the background. The curve seems to go on forever, the small radius requiring low speeds to prevent derailment. Exiting the curve, the tracks cross the San Antonio Creek Bridge, the scenery transitioning from farmland to suburbia as we approach San Luis Obispo. San Luis Obispo is on the longer side of fresh air breaks on the Coast Starlight. We're still behind schedule, so it's a shorter stop than normal. With that bit of extra time though, we can venture up front to see our two Siemens ALC 42 locomotives. We can't stay for long though, as I definitely don't want to be left behind. Departing San Luis Obispo, it's time to take up residence in the lounge car for some spectacular views of the California coastline. And we're treated to a rather special ride down the coast today, as our train has been joined by 3 volunteers from the Trails and Rails program. The program is a partnership between the U.S. National Park Service and Amtrak, and helps to share information about places of interest along 12 of Amtrak's long-distance routes. Not all trains offer Trails and Rails presentations daily, so be sure to check the schedule on Amtrak's Trails and Rails website. Approaching the coastline, the Starlight passes through Vandenberg Space Force Base. From the window of the Starlight, it's easy to see the many missile silos dotting the landscape, followed quickly by the first intercontinental ballistic missile launch site. Constructed in 1959, ICBM Site Alpha was used for Atlas D SM-65D missiles, the first operational version of the Atlas missile. Of the 3 launch pads, only the tower for Pad Alpha 3 remains. This is followed quickly by the 15,000-foot Runway 12. The runway was extended from 8,500 feet after Vandenberg was selected as the West Coast launch and landing site for the Space Shuttle program. The coastal fog is out in full force on this Saturday afternoon. The railway approaches the coastline, the cresting waves of the Pacific crashing against the shore. It was looking bleak for a beautiful view of the coast, but then the fog just stopped. We exit out from underneath the fog bank into a beautiful day, the California sunlight providing some incredible lighting on the fog, stretching far out into the ocean.
Also, there's a lot of big wildlife redwood and cedar along the coast of British Columbia, Alaska, that lived out on the islands. And during the ice age, the island
With the sun now out, the dark ocean turns into a beautiful deep blue.
actually swim down there with the llama burger. This is a very popular spot for fishing and surfing. With the rocket launch, no one was allowed to be here, so they cleared everyone out, and everyone came back. I guess.
From where the tracks lie, the Channel Islands are supposed to be visible out on the horizon. Of course, they're not visible today due to the thick marine layer, but they're still out there.
Around, but someday they will be off the coast of San Francisco. They keep moving north out there. Marty's come around with some photos as soon as possible. But Santa Cruz is actually called Medium with the Anagram. Sometimes we can see dolphins over whales. So elephant seals, you can see them all along the coast by Earth Castle, San Simeon area.
Pacific crews come out here and keep it safe and sturdy for our trains to roll.
The Alegria Trestle is our next landmark heading south. The 8-story tall trestle taking trains across the 634-foot wide canyon.
There's the engine going over the Alegria Trestle. Alegria, 8 stories down both sides of the train.
It's nothing but serene ocean views as we head south, the Trails and Rails guides providing interesting information as the landscape changes around us.
The water's nice temperature. We have people swimming out there. 10 of them are being decommissioned, inactive, because of the output. So that state. I'm sorry. This is not out there. We're coming up on it. The baby abalone and selling them online in this what you call marin culture.
Our coastal running takes a brief hiatus as we pass through Goleta and Santa Barbara. The break is the perfect opportunity to head down to the cafe for dinner. Feeling quite hungry after our less than filling lunch, I chose a cheeseburger and the white cheddar mac and cheese. The burger was just okay. It's a standard reheated one, but nothing to write home about. The mac and cheese, however, is rich, cheesy, and as always, delicious. Was it too much food? Sure. Was it filling? Absolutely. But would I get this combination again? Probably not. As we dine, the coastal views return, with the railway swapping places with Highway 101 before heading inland through Ventura. We bid farewell to the coast, the sun beginning to set, bringing an end to the day as our journey nears completion. I had hoped to see the sunset over the ocean, but it just wasn't meant to be. The final stops come and go, with the last few being disembark only, helping to make up some of the remaining lost time. The skyline of downtown Los Angeles soon creeps out from behind the buildings lining the railway. The Coast Starlight rounds the final curve into Los Angeles Union Station, arriving at the end of the line right on time. Heading down the stairs, we can exit out into Los Angeles. With our journey now at an end, it's time to bring today's video to a close. Next week, we'll be taking a ride on one of North America's greatest and most spectacular trains, the Rocky Mountaineers' Rockies to the Red Rocks. From comfortable seats and luxurious lounge cars to open gangways and some of America's most stunning scenery, the Rocky Mountaineer is a train unlike any other. I can't wait to share the unbelievable experience with all of you, so be sure to stick around for when that video goes live. Anyways, if you're new around here, I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below. It's totally free and it really helps support the channel. I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to my loyal patrons and members. Y'all are amazing and your incredible generosity is greatly appreciated. If you too want your name in the video or just want to support the channel in more ways than one, then head on over to the links in the description below. But anyways, that's all I have for today. Thanks for riding with me, and I'll see you in the next one.